Hey everyone, this is Coffee with the Geek at the Canada Connect Conference 2019. With me is a familiar face. I've interviewed you last year, Joanna Bull.
Hello.
And Joanna, tell me what you've been up to. Tell me what sessions you've got going on, and let's chat.
All right, so for Connect, yesterday I did a 3-hour design thinking for app prototype workshop. I thought it was fantastic. Definitely not enough time. It's a full day session for sure. When I surveyed the room, I'm always still amazed that there are a number of people that haven't heard of design thinking. I'm fascinated by that because it's so deep in the work that I'm doing right now, and I love teaching about design thinking and hearing from teachers about how they're using design thinking in their classroom.
You know, I'm wondering, and I'm just throwing this out here, not to get too deep into the weeds here, but do you think maybe it's almost like hashtag fatigue, you know,
in terms
of like design thinking, you know, like, and you know, we have so many, education is so good with small little phrases or acronyms, and sometimes it becomes overwhelming. I'm wondering if that may be why people aren't familiar with design thinking. Maybe they have a knowledge of it, but maybe it's just people like, oh, I'm closing my mind off.
I don't know that that's true. I kind of feel like there are some people that hear about it and jump on it, and then others that it just really doesn't make its way into their vernacular. They haven't come across it. They probably don't have any colleagues that are doing it. There's a lot of inquiry and project-based learning, and we've been doing that for quite a while, but design thinking is still relatively new.
What would, for those who don't know what it is, what would be your working definition?
So design thinking is all about heart-centered and human-centered design. It is a process or a framework. It comes from the world of really like app prototyping and product design, and the one that I teach is 5 phases. So we go through the 5 phases that start with empathy. Empathy is the most important component because we can't design products or environments or experiences for people if we don't know what it is that they actually are interested in doing, seeing, and using. So we start with empathy, and then we move into defining problems. Then we ideate, which is coming up with ideas, and then we create our prototypes and we test them. And all of that can be, it can be straight, so linear, and we can get it done, or we can go back and revisit different areas in order to feed forward with user testing and go into more development.
What you've used it with students, you've used it with adults?
I have.
Do you see there's a difference there, or does the magic happen in both?
I'm going to say the magic happens in both. There's definitely a difference when you're designing a product or a tangible item versus when you're designing abstract.
I don't know if you saw the keynote today, but he had talked about, you know, give a kid a paperclip and they'll come up with 200 different ways to use it. Give an adult a paperclip and they'll think of, you know, about 10.
Yep.
Is there that kind of dynamic that happens between adults, kids, when you use design thinking? So
the youngest I have worked with is actually grade 7, and I find that they're already a little bit fixed.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's happening at grade 7 or age 7?
Grade 7.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
So tell me about your work lately, and then tell me, you know, you're here as both a presenter, but I'm sure you're here to learn as well. What do you want to learn about, and what are kind of some projects you're thinking of for the future?
Those are a lot of questions.
I know. Well,
okay, so besides the design thinking, which I've been doing a lot of, I am also working on a youth EdTech summit. So we, in New York Region, run a youth EdTech summit for students. We have 300 students coming on May the 9th. They're taking over part of a high school, and it's all about student voice, student passion. So the students are presenting on things that are meaningful to them. And actually this morning I presented on how to run a youth EdTech summit. Full disclosure, that style of presentation where it's like a narrative of our journey is not my favorite to attend. So I questioned whether or not I should present it. And then I thought, I think it's really valuable for people to hear about how it manifested and the transformation it's gone through. So I'm glad I made that choice. And then This afternoon, I'm presenting a workshop on app building, and I'm just going to share with everyone because I think it's important for people to know. I found a program in September or October that is a little bit like Scratch for app development. It's block coding. And then I said to myself, I'm going to sign up to present this at Connect. If it's accepted, I'm going to learn it. And then I did not make the time in my life to learn it. So I had to make a decision, either contact Connect and say I had to pull out or ask for help. So I asked for help. I asked someone that I knew that would be able to do it to assist me, and we're going to present this afternoon together.
That's awesome. Being a risk taker, right, is an important piece, but
yeah,
I know how that happens. You think, oh, I've got plenty of time.
Well, I just think it's important to talk about because so many teachers feel like they need to wait until they're experts, and like if you wait, it's never going to happen.
Exactly. Yep. So, did we talk about future projects, things that you're looking for? What are kind of some things you want to dig into for the future this year, next month?
Oh, that's such a big question. Right now, to be honest, I'm very, very excited about all the design thinking work. Like, it took me a while because I was getting a little bit burned out by all the design thinking work I was doing, and then I figured out a way to kind of like spark my love for it again. It wasn't that I wasn't loving it, it was just when you do a lot of the same from day to day, you get tired of it. But working with teachers and the students and seeing the transformation in people's teaching practice and in the interactions with students and some of their comments, I find very exciting. And I've also been doing some work with the Rotman School of Business in Toronto around a process that they have that's called integrative thinking. And it's all about how we think and how we can collaborate together with our thinking. So similar to what the presenter this morning was talking about, just idea generation and getting out of our own mindsets and bias in order to problem solve.
That was one takeaway from the keynote. Any other takeaways? I mean, he talked about, not being afraid to fail, working through ideas for being not only innovative, but being entrepreneurial. Any big ideas you're did it spark some new ideas?
I'm gonna say that this morning the presentation was very interesting. It was really well done, but for me, none of the information was new. It was a really good reminder of how stuck we can get as people in our thinking and how important it is to have new experiences and push ourselves and be around people that are different from us in order to build ideas.
Yeah, and I think that was one of his kind of ways to break out of the kind of lockbox, I think, right? And I saw he showed like a poster session, poster session among your colleagues and share your ideas to maybe test out your ideas in a small scale.
Yeah, I think it's also important to realize that they're not, nobody is kind of like walking in the morning, trips over the sidewalk and all of a sudden has the best idea ever. Like those things come from intentional thought processes where you take an idea and put it together with something else. I follow a podcast where the woman often talks about like idea babies. Like you take one idea and you take another idea and you put them together and then they have an idea baby. And thinking that way, and my Twitter handle, Idea Smashing, it's sort of like something that I feel passionate about as well, like taking those ideas and stacking them or putting them together and seeing what will work. And hopefully something new will come out of it that will generate a solution to something.
Mm-hmm. Nice. All right, well, good luck on your afternoon session. We'll be following you on Twitter.
Thanks so much.
All right, Joanna Bo.